Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. Do you recall its name as it suggested back in Call This Face and Heal? We'll drag your halo through the mud, ash of Pompeii, erupting in a statue's dust, shrouded in veils. Because these handcuffs hurt too much. Still scalping these ticketless applause. And when they drag the lake, there's nothing left at all. Sutured contusions beyond the anthills of the dawning of this plague. Oh, we got someone in here. Welcome to the program. It's been a minute since I've done a stream, and I thought I'd pop back in for another stream. It's me, yes, I must atone for my sins. I do, that's the Christian in me. I grew up in the church. I know this in my heart and soul that I know right from wrong, and I've done a lot of wrong in my life, and I've paid dearly for it, and you know where I am in my life now, and what I must do is atone for my sins, and the only way I can do that is to do podcasting, and to do podcasting to the best of my ability, and that's how I atone for my sins. To rise higher and fly farther than I ever did before. Any communion in my past. Yeah, my church was one of those. It was like a non-denominational church with one of the. There was like a rock band that would play before every sermon, and it was also a church that did at, communion every Sunday. So I know like some churches only do it like once a month or something, but ours would do it every Sunday, and so they would have like a guest speaker come up and deliver the communion sermon and prayer, and then we do the wafer, and then a little shooter of Welch's grape juice. That was probably the first time I ever did any like public speaking. Was after having been in the church for a few years, the pastor asked me to do the communion sermon one Sunday, and I went up, and just something about me just got like immediately just got a laugh from the congregation. Like I just went up and was like, "Oh, hello," and he just started laughing. I was like, "Okay, well, cool." So I guess that was the first time I did stand up. I guess was doing the communion sermon. Um, did they have any baking events? Not necessarily baking, but I mean, we would have like a potluck. I think like every other Sunday there would be like it would be the band would play, and then we do the sermon, and then afterward would be just a bunch of like food that people brought, like mostly like fried chicken and mashed potatoes, stuff like that, just like southern food. Um, and then what? And there would be baked goods, but it wasn't a baking event necessarily. It was just a big potluck. And that was the best part of going to church. I remember sitting through those sermons, just praying that this would be over soon, so I could get my hands on some of that food, because I was hungry. It was a decent church. It was nice. I miss it. That's why me and my buddy Jamie started doing the Blessed Billionaire Boys Backyard Bible Bonanza Sextuple B here on the show. Two reasons. One, we long for the days of congregation and community within the church, and feeling the Holy Spirit move through us, and two is that we inject religion into the network, into the Billionaire Podcast Network. Ka-ching, bing, 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 filler up. We bring religion into it, and so that way, once we're up and running and like really making money, we register the whole operation as a church, and then all the money is tax exempt. And I can't believe I'm the first person in podcasting to think of even doing that. It's a genius idea. We are going to do it. This is the church of the corn-fed church, the church of billionaires, and this will be a tax exempt religious organization. So all the money coming through Patreon, YouTube, the YouTube money, the advertisements, all of it is going to be tax exempt. And what is my middle name? Lee, as in Robert E. Lee. I think so. It's certainly not Bruce. I'm not named after Bruce Lee. I think it was. There was like a family friend named Lee, and then that was where I got my middle name. And then I looked into it because there's like a ton of people down south with the name Lee somewhere in their name, whether it's their first name, middle name, last name. And I looked into it, and it's like a lot of Southern people that have that name, I think, is like due to Robert E. Lee. So, an American hero, I suppose. But we got what, 6 people in here? Does anybody want to get into some topics? Does anybody want to get into anything? Doing this, I'm new to streaming, and I'm not. Look, I'm no Kai Cenat. I'm no Phantom. I'm no XQC. I'm no Markiplier. I'm bad at video games, and I wouldn't be able to focus on both of those things at the same time. And Jesus Christ. Hold on, something's going on outside. God damn it. Hold on. Okay, we're back. Sorry, I'm homeless right now, so I'm recording in the lobby of the Days Inn because they have their Wi-Fi set to guest, and I had to deal with an issue with the hoteliers. What do I think about late night eating? I love it. I love eating late at night. I say disregard what any doctor or nutritionist has said about when you should stop eating during the day. Eating late as fuck is awesome. I have a Zen in. Forgive me. I'm actually eating right now. I got me a bag of these. Dude, I don't know if y'all know about these. Check this shit out. These Snyder's honey mustard and hold on. Honey mustard and onion pretzel pieces. Dude, I would suck a dick for these. These are so good. I love eating late at night. But I'm fat as shit. I'm gonna be dead soon. What's with this piano podcast? I don't know what you're referring to. Piano podcast? What does that mean? I don't know how to play piano. I don't know what you. There's the Billionaire Podcast Network. Ka-ching, bing, 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 dee, fill her up. There's that, and there's I have no idea to what you're referring. I do not know. That would be a cool show though. A podcast about pianos, talking about Yamahas and Steinways and shit like that. It's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite guys on the internet. Is a guy who he's like a professional piano like cleaner and tuner, and he just goes around and goes to, like, people's houses that have like these really nice Steinways and shit that they like never play. Like I guess a lot of people, that have that kind of money will spend like tens of thousands of dollars on a piano to have it in their home, and then just for years never play it, and so it gets like out of tune, and then there's just like a bunch of junk that ends up inside of it. And so then, like, at a certain point, like, somebody will like call this dude to come in and like clean it out and tune it up. Um, his shit's awesome. I love watching that guy work. But other than that, I don't know nothing about pianos. Yeah, I guess you're right. Ray says before inflation gets worse, I got to call it the Trillionaire Podcast Network. Yeah, I guess that's true. Price of everything's going up. Your dollar don't go as far as it did anymore. Fortunately, I don't have any. I don't have any dollars, so we're fine there. Damn, these are good. Oh, Edna left. Anyway, yeah, I wish I knew how to play an instrument. I played trumpet in high school, all 4 years marching band, and then I tried to play rhythm guitar in the jazz band. I was really bad at it. And then after that, I just kind of gave up on music. Can we add DDT to the Bible podcast? So it could be the Black Big Booby Backyard Bible Bonanza. I mean, I would add her. I don't know if she wants to like commit to like a weekly show like that. I mean, I reached out to her about doing like something on the Patreon, either regularly or semi-regularly, sporadically even. Because I don't know like how much exposure she is like comfortable with, like just putting it up on the free channel for like as many people to see as possible. So I was like, let's do something. Let's try something out on the Patreon. So we're gonna like try that soon. But as far as the Bible show, she doesn't have from what I gather, she doesn't have the same connection to it that I like me and Jamie do. Like she might have grown up with it or around it, but it doesn't seem like she has any desire to reconnect with religion in any way. I don't fault her for that, but like mine and Jamie's approach to the show is like rediscovering that which we abandoned so long ago in pursuit of the material world, and it's in that pursuit, it's ruined us, and so we're cracking our Bibles back open and getting back to God. That's sort of the idea of the show. Well, what are you guys up to? What do y'all do? We got like 9 people in here. Let's get into the show. Let's get into the stream here. Lots going on in the world. There's shit. I don't even know, dude. I'm like checked out of so much. I was reading. This is okay. The Hamas let the 4-year-old go. That's good. Three Palestinian students shot, injured near University of Vermont. Okay, well, we'll get into the news in a minute. What about Austin? Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm down for anything. I gotta have money. Like, I gotta recover from what happened. Like, I was like laid up in just all these different psych wards and hospitals and beds for so long after going through like just a life-threatening situation, and so now it's like I gotta recover from that, and it's like money's easy to get. There's no no excuse now to be poor in this country. If you're not making the money you want to make, you're just not utilizing the tricks and schemes that are available to you now in the information age. Me, it's like fucking TikTok, dude. It's like do some bullshit on TikTok, get you a big following, and then funnel that following to all of your other like bullshit internet endeavors. You know, blow up on TikTok and then go, hey, if you like what I'm doing here, go to my YouTube channel, go to my Patreon, blah blah blah, dot dot dot, equal sign money. Okay. So there's no reason to be poor, not in the age of content. So that's easy. That's an easy fix. Do I still like stand up? Yeah. I mean, why not? I do. I guess like my philosophy on it is different now. Like the way I think about it and look at it is like what it is. I think like um, there's something about it that's very antiquated, and I'm not I'm not like an authority on this shit, but there's something about like the medium of stand up comedy itself that's very much stuck in a certain time period, and it's a very like antiquated form of entertainment, and it's very grueling. It's a grind, and it's like it's one of those things where it just takes so much out of you to like really pursue it, and with the especially like with the way things are now in terms of like what people are drawn to and like what just like what people enjoy, even like what an audience might enjoy. It's so hard to get anyone to give a shit about your stand up. Whereas like with this kind of thing, broadcasting, this has such a wider appeal, and it has like a much and it's not that it's like necessarily easy or that anyone can do it. Like it definitely takes like a particular kind of person to be able to even as like low rent as my operation is, it does take like a particular kind of person to be able to do an hours long broadcast by themselves. But you stand to in the repetition of doing this and just like having like regularly doing some sort of broadcast and uploading it, you stand to reach like a far wider audience and find like real tangible success in a more just a more real way than just doing stand up. It's like I know they say they like feed into each other. That's like if you're stand up, you do a podcast, and they both like weave together as like a thing. But there's definitely like it's definitely two different things. It's like I've seen people who are great at stand up that are really fucking boring on podcasts, and I've seen people that are really good on podcasts who fucking suck shit at stand up, and then I've seen people who are good at both. So it's just one of those things. But like my feeling on all of it now is like, um, nothing can really replace or replicate the feeling of going to a comedy club or a theater and watching stand up live. That is like a very unique experience, but it's also very exclusive. There's not like comedy clubs in every town, and it's kind of like uh, it's not something that just like everybody can partake in. Like you have to live in you have to live in the city that has them, and then you have to like pay, see who's coming through and actually make all the effort to go to the club. And so it's like it's a whole fucking to do for the performer and the audience to pull that off. Um, and whereas like with this, it's like fire up the fucking microphone and then everybody can jump on. And then it's like if you have like if you're putting out a podcast, like it's also great for like just passive listening, like while you're doing laundry or driving in your car. So in terms of I guess like the way I'm trying to like I guess like to answer your question, we'll get to the other questions, but to answer your question, is like, yeah, stand up's cool, but it's very restrictive, and it requires like a lot of commitment from both the performer and the audience, in a way that's like very just like, yeah, like restrictive for both, really. Whereas like with this, you do a broadcast, and then who can put it on while they're doing their chores. It's a great just daily thing you can engage with, that has a much broader appeal, as we move further and further into this technological age of information and content. I think more and more people are going to be drawn to what's happening on the internet versus stuff that, like, things that are happening in a live setting. um and there's gonna the dis and I think like something's gonna happen where like there's like still this disconnect between like the audience and the screen, and then the person like creating whatever it is they're making. There's still like that disconnect there, but I think as these like technologies and applications and like platforms evolve, I think like that gap between the audience and the performer is gonna like shorten, and it'll never be like the. I don't think it'll ever be the same as being in a club or a theater with a live performer, but it will. I think it will get to a place where it's a close enough facsimile to that. It'll be like the Coke Zero of live performance, almost, if that makes any sense. Uh, so I guess that's where my head is at. Is like how just trying to figure out the internet, because that's the damn future, and just using what I have to figure that out. But yeah, stand up's cool. I'll do it. I'll do it forever. Um, do I appreciate tattoos? And do I believe in roasting tattoos, good and bad? I mean, yeah, I have a few tattoos, and like I think like everybody who's gotten tattoos at some point, I've regretted all of them, and then just kind of go back and forth on how I feel about them. Uh, but I mean, yeah, they're cool. I think it's like a cool. My like I kind of like fell into the maybe like the trendiness of it. Like when I got them, because I so many people like more than ever are just getting tattoos. Like it used to be like it was something that like prisoners and pirates had. Like that's who had tattoos, and it was like this very taboo thing, taboo tattoos. And it was like if you met anyone who had a tattoo, it was kind of indicative of like that person's like really tough and scary. And now it's this thing where just like every rich kid hipster has like full sleeves. Um, so it is, it doesn't, they don't hold the weight that they used to. And there's like all these reality shows about them, and it's this very like bougie cottage industry now, tattooing. Where it's like it used to be like the thought of going into a tattoo parlor and what they looked like and the people that like would go in there was like terrifying. It was like, no, you don't go to those places. That's for the misfits, for the riffraff. And now it's like nurses. Like nurses are getting touch ups and getting new tattoos. But I mean, yeah, they're fun. They can be. And I think like the worse the better. I think getting really stupid, dumb tattoos is fun. Um, you know, that's why I have this one, the Calvin pissing on the cool S. It's my favorite tattoo I've ever gotten, and it was free. Uh, so yeah, I mean they're fun. You just gotta keep in mind. I think everybody ends up regretting them though. Like that's the thing, is like everyone I've gotten, like at some point I have looked in the mirror and had that like Philip Seymour Hoffman and Boogie Nights moment where I'm like, you fucking idiot. What were you thinking? Um, but go for it. And there, what's like really fascinating about getting tattoos though is there like the weird, like almost meditative thing that happens um during, like, as you're getting it, where it's like it's so painful, especially depending on where you get it, but it's like such an intense, extreme pain, and it doesn't let up ever. Like it's not something you necessarily get used to. It's like each time the needle hits you, it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, this hurts so much. But in a weird way, like you kind of, this like mind over matter thing happens, where you're like aware of how much this hurts and you feel it, but then you kind of like overcome it, and then it go into this like zen state. It's like hell. It's like Hellraiser yoga. It's like Cenobite yoga. It's like the way you would achieve some sort of enlightenment through just extreme pain. So I guess that's what where like that kind of funnels into BDSM. Like, I guess that makes sense. Like getting your titties smacked around and clamped and getting your balls stomped on. I guess there's like a meditative quality to the pain of that. Maybe not into that though. That's some weird shit. I enjoy just straight up missionary position, vaginal sex with a woman. Um, that's what I enjoy. I like it when she puts her legs on my shoulders, and then I go in there, and then I can feel my balls smacking against her taint. That's fun. But even saying what I just said, gross. That was a gross thing to say. It was a gross thing to imagine, to envision in my mind. Um, it's a truly disgusting, horrific act, and I pray for the day that we can finally be rid of it as a species and reproduce like the future would have us, where it's all synthetic. There's some sort of artificial womb that exists, and then they extract your seed and inject it into an ovary inside of this like synthetic womb, and then you don't have to fuss around with the actual act of sex, which is disgusting. Is it gay to like sex? Yes. Yeah. Been thinking about this lately. Sex is inherently pretty fucking gay when you think about it. It's like okay, I'm gonna put my penis in a woman's mouth, and that's the same mouth that she used to kiss me earlier. So ergo, by the like transitive property, I'm putting my penis in my own mouth, a man's mouth. Gay. You know, when you think about it, when you really stop and think about it, yeah, it's like that. But it's not like I have sex anyway. I'm celibate. I'm an uh, involuntary celibate, or rather, just circumstantial. More just like it would be foolish of me to even try to get pussy right now. Um, yeah, and that's true. Tons more cowbell. Every other man's mouth she's kissed, dude. I mean, that's the thing. Like honestly, like every day I go on X, formerly Twitter, and all these threads that pop up every day about like a woman's body count and these conversations that people have, like this idea that should not bother you at all as a man, like the amount of people that a woman has slept with. But really what it is like it does bother me, and that's why I don't want to know about it. I just don't ever want to have that conversation with any woman that I might be like romantically interested in, because it does bother me, and you'd be hard pressed to find a man that does not like irk in some way. Because I mean, I mean, that's what we were taught, right? Or like, I guess like people of a certain age is like when you go through sex ed, like they teach you that like when you have sex with someone, you're basically also having sex with everyone they've had sex with. And so like if you meet a woman who's fucked 100 dudes, and then now you're thinking about fucking her, but then in that same fantasy, you also have to imagine fucking 100 dudes, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to have sex with 100 dudes. Maybe like five, just to try it. Five, just to try it 5 times. I don't want to do that. But I mean, yeah, it does bother. It is like anytime a woman who has like overshared her sex life with me for whatever reason, whether I'm like trying to date her or not, I am like, yo, bitch, I don't want to know about this shit. Stop telling me this. It's gross, and it makes me upset that you're out there sucking and fucking so much that you think you got the right to go out there and have sex with all these dudes. You think that's acceptable, bitch? Um, what did you say? Damn. So putting your dick in a pusey, putting your dick in a pusey is like mashing your tip on someone's shroom. Yeah, basically, pretty much. Like when you put your dick in a pussy, you're putting your dick where so many other dicks have gone. If we follow the transitive properties, and so it is like you're basically every time you have sex with a woman who has had sex with other dudes, you're basically having gay sex. And that's why they say you want a virgin bride so that you don't like through the transit property do some gay shit. You know what I mean? Tran or the transient property would be just like how I live now, which is I got a bindle with all my belongings on it, and I just I hitchhike and ride the rails, and I carve different like code like hieroglyphics in the telephone poles to let the other ones know what's up. Um, and that's how I live now. Ever since I burned my life to the ground, all the money's gone, all my books, all my worldly possessions. But you know, sometimes the phoenix has to burn to rise from the ashes. Yeah, turning stories into song. Those are the best. Dude. I love those songs. Like fucking like trucker songs, songs about truckers, where it's just some guy basically just talking and telling a story while like a guitar and drums play. That's fun. Um, who's that one guy? Red Savine. You ever heard of that guy? He had just a bunch of like trucker songs, and yeah, he's cool. Maybe like Marty Robbins, I think, is another one like that, but his was more like melodic. Um, not Savine like spell like that. It's Red Sovine. He has a song I really like called Phantom 309. Um, yes, that's the name of the song. Yes, I was out on the West Coast trying to make a buck, and things didn't work out. I was down on my luck. Got tired of roaming and bumming around, so I started thumbing back east toward my hometown. Like that kind of stuff. Yeah, dude, that kind of shit. That's awesome. Uh, King of the Hill had an episode like that. Remember there was like a Christmas episode of King of the Hill where it's like Hank and Bobby got to take a semi truck to deliver like all this furniture to like Hank's mom or something, and they get like stranded along the way, and so a bunch of other truckers help them, and so the episode ends with like a Red Savine style trucker song. Um, yeah, I watched that recently because it's the holidays. You burn too bright, bro. Your love for Kingdom Hearts and racist jokes really touched me. Yeah, yeah, I really did. I was the perfect merging of autism and racism, and it was just too much. I mean, it did, there's a lot I could have done different, but it didn't help that the people I was like closest to professionally that I was working with, um, we had such a tenuous working relationship with each other, and it's disputable whether or not we were all actually friends. Um, so that was driving me crazy. That's like the weirdest thing about doing anything creative is like when you have creative partners, it does have to be like I understand that you might butt heads from time to time with people, but it does have to be like copacetic a lot of the time. Like you have to be like actual real deal friends to work creatively with people. I think, or cordial at least, like professional. And that was not the case on our show. Like our show was just like constantly hanging by a thread, and just us not really getting along that well. Especially like everybody knows this, but like me and Joe, that was where it was really the worst. That's where it was like the show was definitely at its weakest link was at mine and Joe's relationship with each other, because it was just like at best this is just a work thing, and at worst I am going to beat his fucking ass. Was sort of the vibe. Uh, but yeah, we weren't like particularly good friends, and that was like the thing is like me and Robbie always got along. Like me and Robbie were friends, and Robbie was always trying to tell me, regarding like how stressful and just like strained everything was. He was always like, well, Opie and Anthony hated each other uh at the end there, and I'm like, that was after decades and millions of dollars. They were in a position where it was like, they could hate each other and power through it, because there's like all that history and money to be made. I was always like, we're way too early into this to be having that kind of conversation, to start comparing ourselves to late stage Opie and Anthony does not portend good things for this show. um and it didn't. It doesn't matter. I mean, I went crazy anyway, but it was like, you know um yeah, we just yeah, it was that was like such a weird time. 'Cause, I mean, people have reached out and said they have like this fondness for that show, that they like really enjoyed it, and it was like fun to do, but it was this like just really weird thing where it felt like maybe we were going to succeed, but I think each of us had just like different values and goals and skill sets, and it just was not like meshing the right way. It was really strange. It was really weird to be building this audience and actually making money, and it's like, if for whatever reason we're just not making it work. It was really odd, but you bounce back. I bounce back. Joe's been doing the show for what, like 2 years now, and you know still hasn't cracked too many subscribers, really. Interesting how that works out. Interesting how you stomp on someone while they're in the fucking psych ward, kick them while they're down, move on, start a new show, and 2 years later, the guy that was in the psych ward, he's got more subscribers than you, pal. Um, how do we find each other? The creek in the cave. It was like we were just doing open mics, and like Robbie and I hit it off right away, because like we both just had like similar, like just chaotic energies, and we hit it off, and he knew Joe from San Francisco. So he like invited both of us to do his podcast at the time, and like it went really well. Like it was like immediately like, oh, this is a cool dynamic. So we just decided to keep doing it. But it was like they already knew each other, and like I was kind of the new kid, and that was like the frustrating thing, just being like this like kind of a hick from Texas, showing up in the big city, and like trying to figure all this out, and having to like navigate the personalities of like well-to-do Bay Area guys. Like I don't know anything about that world. I don't know anything about like California people who grew up with like money and the uh the lifestyle of San Francisco, I guess. Um, I was the Beyonce of the group. I mean, yeah, because I was like narcissistic and controlling and very demanding. I mean, I'm not like without fault in all of this. Like, I mean, yeah, I was a problem during all that for sure, and it manifested in like the most destructive way possible. Um, yeah, it's not a competition, but I mean, it kind of is, right? No, it's not. I mean, yeah, it's really not. And it's like it's gonna take like I'm starting so like behind the eight ball with everything. That's like yeah, everybody's doing better than I am these days. But look, that's the thing. Life is a story, and so it's like I have an interesting story to tell now. And that's the thing about being an artist is you reach deep within and take your fuck ups and sins and the bad parts of your life and retool them into a story to sell to people. So like honestly, art is also grifting, and grifting is art, and that's why they're called con artists. Um, and I wish more people in any creative field understood that first and foremost you're a con artist. Um, yeah, I wish I was Hemingway. I wish I had that. I wish I had like what he had, crippling PTSD. Uh, I mean, he wrote some beautiful books and then blew his fucking head off. But he had a good run. No, there is nothing noble in being superior. That's why superheroes are inherently fascist. To have just a small group of people that wield so much power and influence over the world and take it upon themselves to be the saviors of humanity. It's fascism. There's no nobility in that. That's what Watchmen teaches us uh, about superheroes and the human condition. Um, what are my numbers looking like on TikTok? I don't know. TikTok is interesting because like I'll post. I have like I don't have a huge following on there. I have like 557 followers, and whenever I post like a rack react or like whatever, it'll get like initially like within the first day like around 300 views, and then some stuff will climb gradually after that, and then other stuff will just stagnate. But yeah, it's a weird app because it's like very dependent on like whatever their algorithm is, and like the views don't necessarily translate to like actual likes. Like people are very reticent about pushing, tapping the heart button on there. Um, so I don't know. I don't know what works on there. I don't have that. I see like what a lot of people are doing on there, and a part of me feels like it's bullshit, and another part of me is like kind of envious of this bullshit people figured out is getting millions of followers and money and all that. But it's a tough platform to watch because like the personalities on there, um, like the personalities on TikTok, there's very few that I find interesting or enjoyable to actually look at. Like I find them like really grating um, when it's like a personality. But the stuff that really gets my dick hard. This is why I love the app. Why finding gyms like this is like there's one. This might be my favorite of all time. Is this account? I think it's called Fritz Does Art, and it's this guy who's got he's got this setup where it's like a space like a table or whatever, and surround like on all sides of this like working space, just like surrounding it is just tons and tons of different paint. I mean, it looks fucking crazy. It looks schizophrenic, like the amount of paint in different colors that he's got set up on this like workspace. And each thing that he does is he just like he'll pull out like a Pantone color swatch and uh and show like what the color, like what the Pantone color is, and it'll be like some royal purple or key lime or slate gray or whatever, and then he'll go through all of this different fucking paint that he has and mix up just like different color. I don't know how he figures this out, but he'll go through like all these different paints he has and start mixing them together until he makes a color that matches the color swatch. So you'll watch him in like real time. Like he'll start out with like some like bright key lime green, and he'll throw it down, and then he'll grab like a blob of red paint, and you'll be like, "What the fuck are you doing? It's not even." And then he'll just go through and start mixing all these different colors together, and then by the end of it, he has like perfectly matched the Pantone color swatch. And then he'll like rub a sample of it on the swatch, and it's indistinguishable. You can't. It's exactly the same color. That might be my favorite. That's mostly what I watch these days. Is just some guy mixing paint. And I wish I had that talent, but I'm more of just I just some blowhard, some guy who rants into a fucking microphone. That's all I got. Um, I don't know. There's another guy I like called Marblehead, who's just a snooty art snob. He has like he has like a post grad MFA or whatever, and he created a filter that's just like a bust of the statue of David, and it says eyes and mouth on it, and he just goes through and just trashes people's opinions on books and art. Oh yeah, Key of Geebs. I haven't checked it on Key of Jeeves in a minute. The last time I looked at him, I know he was like struggling with something. Like he was saying like I'm too fucking old and the industry doesn't like me. And then everybody was like, "Yo, Key of Jeeves, we fucking love you, dude." But I haven't watched a reaction from him in a minute. I wonder what is his latest video. It looks like his latest video 14 hours ago. Let's check out Disturbed, The Light. I don't even know that song. Damn, dude. Yeah, I haven't checked in on him in a while. I do love Key of Jeeves. He's the best. That was, by the way, that was that was where I really turned on Joe. That was where I said this man is not to be trusted. Was when we were doing an episode of the show, and I pulled up Key of Jeeves to show everybody, and Joe just immediately goes, "This is stupid. This guy sucks." And I was like, "No, you're a bad person for saying that. We're not gonna sit here and badmouth Key of Jeeves, Joe. That's not what we're gonna do. I like him a hell of a lot more than I like you. This man is a beaming, a great shining beam of light in a dark world, and you were attempting to spread more darkness." Yeah. Anyway, Jeeves is biblical, dude. Jeeves really is, dude. It's so refreshing because like there's so much like irony and cynicism and like mockery and all that shit in the world now. Like everybody approaches so much of what they do with just like this detached like snark to it, that where it's they're always like trying to somehow do the thing they're doing while positioning themselves as like being better than the thing they're actively doing for fear of what, I don't know, like sincerity or whatever it may be. And just to see Key of Jeeps, just like the Mr. Rogers of new metal and alternative rock and prog and shit, like the Mr. Rogers of song reactions. It really is. It's like a biblical figure, a savior in a bleak landscape of content. Uh, yeah, he does. He does. He has the. Yeah, he does have the joy of a child in his eyes. Like watching Keith Jeeves listen to Primus. I'm like, hey, dude, this is yes. This is what it was like when I was 14 and listened to Primus for the first time. Except he's like 60 and being like, yeah, what is this? Jerry was a race car driver. Um, which I mean, I don't know. He definitely is like of an age where he was probably too old for Primus when they hit, and then I was probably too young to be honest with you. I remember showing people Primus, like people around my age, like trying to get them into Primus, and they were like, "Yo, what in the fuck are you showing us? This is insane." We like what was big at that time? My Chemical Romance. Which doesn't suck. I've come back. I've come around on it. I remember at the time when like all that kind of emo music was hitting, like My Chemical Romance and that kind of music, which is not to be confused with real emo music, which would be like Sunny Day Real Estate and American Football and those kinds of bands. My Chemical Romance was like Hot Topic emo, and I think like at that time, um, it I think it was the people that were into it. I always found to be off-putting. The people who like were really into emo, who had those like ridiculous haircuts and just looked like absolute freak shows. That was kind of what turned me away from that music at that time. And then like as I've softened as I've gotten older, it's like, you know what, this music does not suck. My Chemical Romance. 30 Seconds to Mars blows cock. But My Chemical Romance is fine. Um, Canadian vocal coach. I think I have seen her. Uh, I don't know her name, but I think I have seen who you're talking about. Yeah. I mean, yo, I saw like it's funny to talk about this shit because I saw an interview recently with fuck some filmmaker. I forget her name. Spanish lady. Some I can't remember her name, but she's like a respected filmmaker, and she said something interesting, and she makes movies. But in this interview, she said that like she has laughed more and been entertained more by like TikTok than most of what's come out on TV and in the movies within the last few years. And it like pissed people off that she said that, but it's like, I mean, yeah, she's right. Like if you go to YouTube or TikTok, there's like just so much out there to comb through, and you land on stuff like Key of Jeeves or Canadian vocal coach girl that is like genuinely like really engaging and entertaining and insightful in a way that like season 5 of Stranger Things is not going to be. You know what I mean? Like if I watch any of those fucking Netflix originals, it's like I can't connect with this. But if I'm watching a 60-year-old composer in Hawaii listen to Dream Theater for the first time, it's like, okay, now I'm listening. Now I'm paying attention. What's going on here? Um, so I like that's something I really enjoy about the internet itself and like content, whatever you want to call it, is it has like pride the entertainment industry, like whatever that is, it's pried it out of the hands of like entertainment executives and like coastal like entertainment elites, where it's just like anybody anywhere can start a YouTube channel and create something more entertaining, more endearing than most of what's like being put on TV, because it just has for no other reason, it just has heart. You know what I mean? Like I would much rather watch just some guy tooling around on YouTube and figuring that out than some slop that was cobbled together by a Harvard graduate writers room of just like rich kids who were gifted these jobs because of who their parents are. Um, Yo, okay. Speaking of F Final Fantasy VII, dude, we just recorded the episodes that are going to come out this week for the show. Corn fed, and on the Patreon, we just like we just started listening to like Final Fantasy soundtracks, and I think we just listened to the entire Cosmo Canyon track from Final Fantasy VII. Like we're just sitting there, just like nodding our heads, and it's like, I mean, yeah, I'm glad people pay for this. Well, we had a good time. Um, it, it's yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that because like I think I spent 10 minutes in that episode, so everybody go subscribe because there's probably a good 10 minutes in that episode that I try to like break down how to get the Knights of the Round summon materia. Like trying to tell them, just trying to explain like what you got to do to get a gold chocobo. So everybody go subscribe so you can hear me bore the shit out of my co-hosts with how to fucking get a gold chocobo. I did it as a kid. I couldn't do it now. Like if I was to like try and do any of that kind of shit now, like grinding in that way, there's no fucking way, dude. And it's not even like I don't. It's not even like that I don't have the time. It's just like I would just get too agitated. I would just be like, "Yo, this is fucking just like the tedium of doing this. Like how tedious this is. I can't do it because like I don't mind grinding. I'll fucking grind. I'll grind. I'll play. I'll fucking fire up Bloodborne and grind. But that's more. This is more engaging. Something like that. A lot of action and things to do and toy around with. But fucking trying to get that gold chocobo, dude. That's grinding. That's tedious. That's very tedious work. You're like actually. It feels like you're actually working doing that. Um, and yes, Ruby. I never beat Ruby Weapon. I never could figure that out. It was because it's like once you've like grinded to the point where you're like overpowered, it's like Emerald Weapon is easy. It's fine, like But then like Ruby Weapon was. I always felt like I was just being like fucked with. I never could like figure out what it was I needed to do to beat this fucking thing. So I just never did it. It doesn't even matter because like if you beat when you, I mean, I guess it's just like if you're trying to do it to say you did it, yeah, that's what matters. But like what you get for beating Ruby Weapon is a gold chocobo. So it's like it's the fucking point at that point. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. The laborious nature of Final Fantasy. Yeah, it's like as you get older, yeah, it wears you down. But they've changed them now. Like they don't even play like that anymore. Like the last one I played was the 7 remake, and that played like any action game pretty much. Like that. Like I remember playing it. Like it has like RPG elements, and there's like cool, fun like customizable things you can do in the game that kind of mimic the original game, but like the actual game itself plays more like Devil May Cry or something like that. Um, but yeah, those games are like really, yeah, they take a lot. I much prefer something more active, So that's why I really enjoyed Nier Automata, which I've talked about a lot, because it's like that's a game that's like an RPG like that, but it's a lot of running and swinging swords and shooting guns. Um, uh, 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 We're for those of you just joining us, we're talking Final Fantasy. I did, I think the last one I played actually, I did actually go through and play the first one, the very first one. That game sucks. The very first Final Fantasy fucking blows cock. It's crazy that they were able to make like 100 more after that because that game fucking blows. Um, my favorite to this day might actually still be Chrono Trigger. That might be the best. That's the one I really felt. I felt that one spiritually playing that one. I mean, that and Final Fantasy VII for sure, but Chrono Trigger got my ass. Um, and obviously Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, Chrono Trigger. I tried. There's been like multiple times in my life that I've tried playing Chrono Cross, the sequel, the loose sequel, and I can never figure it out because like the magic system in Chrono Cross is like this weird like color coded bullshit that I could never fucking like I could never figure out like how to make that work. And so I like every like major battle I went into, I would just get fucking stomped because I couldn't figure out this fucking magic system that they had set up in the game that was like confusing for no reason. So I've never finished Chrono Trigger, but I beat the shit out of Chrono, or I never finished Chrono Cross, but I beat the shit out of Chrono Trigger. I got every ending. That was like, and that was cool. That's like one of the first games that probably did some shit like that, right? Where you could beat it and then play through it again, like New Game Plus, and then just like go get like different endings and shit. That was awesome. You played the Japanese one, yeah. I wouldn't be able to figure that out either. But yeah, the different endings in Chrono Trigger were cool as shit. Um, and yeah, that was a good one. What else? I haven't played a video game in a long time though. It's been a minute. I've been so out of sorts ever since my brain accident. But I don't really like I don't like where video games are headed now from what I've seen. Like so many games or even single player games are adopting this like that like battle pass shit where it's like you have to always be online and they want you to subscribe to something and like micro like even like single player games like that are doing that and like so many games are being released that aren't even fucking finished. Like the big one within like the recent years, what was it, Cyberpunk 2077, where it's like now people are saying that it's good after what, like 2 or 3 years. You know, they're saying like, oh, it works now, and it's like, well, it fucking should have worked when it came out. That's crazy. That to me, that's unacceptable. To release a video game that's that broken, that like it's reviled upon release because it just doesn't fucking work, and then like 3 years later, it's like, okay, well, it works now, and it's like, no, that's unacceptable. You should not have charged people $70 for this when it came out. You shouldn't have done. I mean, it's like Gabe Newell gets a lot of shit because like Valve has like kind of focused more on just like Steam as a platform than actually making games ever since Half-Life 2. But I mean, kudos to him for at least understanding that don't rush anything out there. Even if it takes 20 years, which we're coming up on. We're coming up on yeah, I think 20 years since Half-Life 2 came out, and probably what, 17 years, 16 or 17 years since Half-Life 2 Episode 2 came out, maybe. So they're taking their time. I mean, I know they did Half-Life Alyx, the VR game, but VR sucks. I don't think VR is ever gonna VR, like, does anyone see VR actually being like having any real mass appeal? Because it really is like an example of like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like I think people have been like really happy with what we've had, which is controller TV, and VR just seems like too much. It's just like no, this is now we're getting into like uncanny valley territory where it's like I don't want to be this close to it. I need the space between myself and the screen. I don't want like whatever this is. That's how I feel. I mean, I don't know. I'm not like particularly a fan of it. Um, yeah. Well, yeah. Get what is it called? Okay, games as a service. Yeah, yeah. They've adopted the same like tech bullshit philosophy as like yeah, software as a service where it's like these like dumbass like monday.com kind of shit where it's like does your startup need HR but you don't want to actually have to pay for fucking HR employees? Well then subscribe to whatever this bullshit is, this software as a service, and let the app do HR for you. And that's what video games are now. Is subscribe to Call of Duty and pay fucking Call of Duty a bunch of your money so that the game actually fucking works and you can play it. Yeah, so everything just ends up sucking. And I guess like prophetically, Nintendo came out on top in that regard because they don't do that. It's like their hardware, like they're such an interesting company because like their hardware is like 2 generations behind everything else. Like it's like really antiquated hardware, but the way they focus on the actual fucking like games they make ensures that when you buy a game, like it works, and B, it's the complete game. So it's like you're not having to like be online or subscribe to any bullshit, and you can actually enjoy the game as it is. There's no patches or DLC that you got to fuck with or like anything like that. It's like if you get a Zelda game, it's like rest assured you're getting a full fucking Zelda game. It just sucks that that's all there is on any Nintendo console is just like the handful of Nintendo games because I don't know there's nothing coming out on a Nintendo console besides that's worth playing. Like you're not gonna play fucking like any Dark Souls game on the Switch. I don't know who's doing that, but you will play Super Mario, and that's kind of worth the price of the console, I guess. Um, Fire Emblem, also, I guess maybe. Fire Emblem's hard. I guess I could. Yeah, I could play Final Fantasy VII live. Um, that's not it. No, that's Smooth Criminal. I was trying to sing the Final Fantasy VII music and I slipped into Smooth Criminal. PC gamers don't like the low FPS in Nintendo games. Well, get used to it, sweetheart. I get, I have a gaming PC that I haven't plugged in a while, so I need to charge it. Does that hurt your PC? I gotta fucking charge this damn thing. What flavors do I like in vape? Well, my default setting in vape is it's got to have ice. It's got to be some sort of ice. I'm not fucking around with a vape if it don't have that menthol in it. And this is Death Row vapes, so I guess like a Snoop Dogg vape of some kind. Lush ice. So I don't know what that means. It's okay. My favorite usually is like there's one that's like Mike Tyson's face on it. It's like Tyson vapes, and it's like a green apple ice. I like that a lot. I like grape ice, banana ice, mango ice, peach ice, something like that. But the ones that are just like regular fruit flavors, garbage, terrible. I'm not, no. It's got to have the ice in it. I ain't fucking around with just like that room temperature vape. I need that ice, which can't be good for you. None of this is good for you, I don't think. But I reached out to a company. I'm lobbing Hail Marys because I reached out to a company to see if they wanted to sponsor the podcast, and it's that I guess yeah. Everybody tweet at them to see if they'll do it. Let them know that you love me and pester them. No, I reached out to that company Fume to see if they want to partner up. Just you know, just throwing them a sales pitch, kind of a hail mary, because it's like we don't have a huge subscriber base at all. But I was like, can't hurt to reach out. Um, but that company that like is supposed to help people like curb their vape appetite with some sort of essential oil thing that you suck on. Um, so we'll see. I reached out to a few others as well. Some sort of nicotine toothpick, some sort of hemp company, a couple hemp companies. What about Fume? So yeah. That's who I reached. I emailed them to see if they would be interested in allying with the Billionaire Podcast Network. Ching, bing, 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 did he fill her up? Just to do it, just to put my name out there and see if I can get a little sponsors going. I mean, the reality is like everything's still so new that like, I don't know, but can't hurt, man. You gotta put yourself out there. That's sales, baby. That's sales 101. You know, A always B, B, C closing. So that's what I'm doing. But if we do get a sponsor, just everybody be sure to use that promo code. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, it will take time, but it's like, you know, can't hurt to throw your hat in the ring, you know. Uh, although I don't know, do people buy that stuff? Like, I know I'm talking like directly to an audience right now, but it's like I've listened to podcasts and that yeah, okay, so that's the thing, Ronan, is like as an actual consumer product, a lot of these things that are like uh, sponsor podcasts as a product itself, if I saw it out in the wild, I would be like, the fuck is this? But if it's associated with someone that I like and want to support, that would be like the motivating factor of actually like trying it, like purchasing it. But it would not be like based on the merit of the product itself. Uh, you know what I mean? So it's like like having sponsors for the show is like I'm really just selling myself in selling like whatever the product would be because it's like who like back in the day it was like Dollar Shave Club was a big one and I'm like who the fuck like you're just gonna your house is gonna be filled to the brim with fucking razor blades you're not using. You're gonna forget to cancel this, and just every month you're gonna be like, oh fuck, more razor blades. um, you know what I mean? Like all those subscription services, uh, Nature Box, where it's like, oh great, another fucking $40 box of cashews that I'm gonna eat in one sitting. I'm glad I invested in this. They do send. Hey, look, they send razors right to your door, no rules. Okay, I'll tell you this much. HelloFresh and Blue Apron are absolute fucking scams. That is bullshit what they're doing. And if they want to sponsor the show, obviously, go to HelloFresh.com, promo code cornfed. Um, But like what they're doing, like, dude, their whole brand, like what they're doing, their whole product is basically saying, "Are you a lazy fucking idiot who doesn't want to cook for yourself?" And it's, for that most podcast listeners, it's like, yes, yeah, you nailed it. And it's like, well, spend more money on groceries than you ever have before. That are prepackaged in a bunch of fucking plastic and easy, easy to make. The recipe is there for you or whatever. Like, it's a scam. Like, and then they send you this bullshit, and now clock's ticking. You got to cook your fucking chicken stir fry before all your groceries, your HelloFresh groceries, go bad. Yeah, and it just like, and it's all based on this assumption or this idea that the podcast listener, whoever's getting this, like what they're marketing it to, is like, are you a complete fucking retard in the kitchen? Are you so fucking stupid and lazy that you don't want to look up a recipe on foodnetwork.com and try and cook it for yourself? Then go to fucking hellofresh.com and we'll send you a pre-packaged, all the portions are packaged the way they're supposed to be, and all you have to do is like follow the directions that are on this like laminated thing. It's like a laminated card that we send with you, and it's like, and we're doing our best to make sure that even an absolute ignoramus like yourself, a lazy piece of shit like you, can cook this meal, and don't get it twisted. This per ounce, like what these ingredients are, is exponentially more expensive than buying groceries. Um, so yeah, that shit's a scam. What is True Classic? What the fuck is that? Only thing I ever bought from a podcast is Kratom, which works. That's the thing about Kratom. It fucking works. True Classic T-shirts. Is that what this is? Ooh, these look nice. Okay, I'm on board. Damn, these do look good. Yep, just good, simple, solid, basic shirts. Okay, I'm on board with this. Stop. Oh, nope. I don't. Stop pop. Why is it? Goddamn fucking promo pop-ups. Anyway. Did I get nice and... Wait, what? Who got full on Italian? Who are you talking to? Oh, you're talking to Ron? I don't know. You guys all know each other? What is this? I don't know. That's weird that you all know. That's the internet, I guess. I don't know any of y'all. I mean, we're all friends here, but I don't know any of you personally. Anyway, you're all brothers. Oh, you're black? Okay. You know what's been fun lately is like, I guess like whenever I take on any sort of creative endeavor, there is a part of me that, no matter how silly it is, I still kind of take it seriously to some degree and actually like work on it. And it has been like really funny, just like catching myself lately, where like I'll see a pair of titties and start like actually doing like a Fantano thing in my head, where I'm like really analyzing them and thinking about like what I would say about this pair of boobies. just like anytime I see tits now, I'm like, okay, let's take a gander at these. How do these make me feel? I got myself today. Damn, I got myself. Because somebody, I don't know if y'all saw this on Twitter that I did, but one of these accounts, Blizzy, posted like a black and white picture of her titties, and it's like those those sort of like boyish perkies, like smaller, like a couple of dinner rolls, like just like perky little titties, not a lot of meat in them, but uh, still boobs for sure. And I like I quote tweeted and said something about them, and then I checked this person's profile, and like come to find out they're trans, and so I said something about that, and then like all these people were clowning me in the comments saying like, yeah, man, I mean, we could all tell these were trans tits. And I'm like, no, 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 you couldn't. I have seen cisgender titties that look just like this. Um, this is a classic boy bosom. There's a couple of little perkies, little percolators. And I did nobody. There was no way for anyone to know that these were trans boobies. But nobody wants to admit that trans tits look good now. Uh, you guys singing Creed? What are you talking about? Can you take me higher to a place where blind men see? Yeah, I agree with you. All boobs are good boobs. I never met a boob I didn't enjoy. I never met a boob I didn't like. Um, even a man boob, even a juicy man boobie. Um, oh, thank you. I have a good pitch. I didn't know that. I always thought I was good at karaoke. I'll tell you that. I would do karaoke, and I remember thinking to myself, I'm fucking nailing it. And so it's very vindicating. Um, because I said that, I think I said that to Robbie or somebody once, that like I said I'm good at karaoke. I'm good at singing karaoke, and they laughed at me. And I'm like, all right, get me in the fucking karaoke lounge and put on some Brooks and Dunn and tell me that I don't fucking nail it. Um, yeah, huh? Interesting. Maybe because I like truly didn't. I didn't think I had like a real ear for music necessarily. Uh, I don't know if I thought I was tone deaf or whatever. I would have never said that I had good pitch. But maybe I do. I don't know. I sing in the shower a lot. Good acoustics, so I guess I have like some awareness of what I sound like singing in the shower. Singing a full 30-minute Mars Volta song in the shower. Which I've done. Taylor Swift without auto tune. Oh, does she suck? I don't know. I think I've probably only heard like 5 of her songs. It's not even that thing. Is it like with her? It's not even a thing where like, because a lot of people seem baffled by her success. Like they're just like, I don't get it. It's like, no, I get it. It's also just not for me. It's just like from what I've heard, it's like it's fine. Yeah, it's pop. It's just very middle of the road pop music. I mean, I like pop music. I mean, like when it comes to pop stars, like she's a talented performer, and she has that like that sort of homey girl next door personality vibe that like just every woman appeal in a way. Like I can see like why she has the mass appeal she does. Um, but when it comes to like pop stars, I think like Lady Gaga and Beyonce are infinitely more entertaining than her. Um, in terms of like at that level, I like them a lot more. I like Doja Cat. I'm really on a Doja Cat now. Yeah, I think like pop music is fun. I think pop music's important because it's like it's it's like the music for like the fucking like the population. You know what I mean? Like there's all these genres and subgenres that we all get into or whatever. Like the music that we like really like, but pop music is like the default setting of music for the just everybody. So I, I think it's like important in that regard. Uh, and so it's interesting to see like what really hits and what is like popular at any given time. And so it's like, I mean, it's impressive the longevity that Taylor Swift has had, but it's not for me, you know. And it'd be interesting to see who usurps her, who's going to come along and take the throne, take the crown from T Swift, and it might be Doja Cat, folks. Um, uh, Carly Rae Jepsen's fun. When that song hit, that was a fun one. Uh, what is my work schedule? Are you asking me? Because I do have to. I guess I do have to wake up. I mean, I have plenty of time to sleep, and it's like I work from home, or rather, my box car that I live in. So I wake up like 30 seconds before I have to clock in. Oh, you're asking Ronan. Well, forget what I just said. I'm actually homeless and unemployed. When is Dalton Fest going to happen? Okay, so here's Dalton Fest, and this will happen at some point in the future. So once a year, every year, at some point, I think it's in the summertime. So there's a big lake in Texas called Possum Kingdom Lake, and it is the namesake of the song Possum Kingdom by the Toadies. The "Do You Wanna Die?" that song. Don't be afraid, I didn't mean to scare you. So help me, Jesus. That song. And so once a year, the Toadies have a big concert at Possum Kingdom Lake, and so Dalton Fest is just gonna be like basically just hanging out at that concert and just having a good ass time out on the lake during the Toadies concert. So that's Dalton Fest. Is just going to the Toadies concert at Possum Kingdom Lake and maybe renting a pontoon boat, um, and just like a 10-person pontoon boat and going out onto the lake and enjoying the Toadies concert, which I don't know what they would be playing other than the album Rubberneck, which is like a crazy. It's fucking crazy, that band, because it's like that album is front to back a perfect album, and then I don't know if they ever did anything else, because it's not like they're just a one hit wonder with that song with Possum Kingdom. It's like if you go through and listen to Rubberneck, that the album that song is on, every single track on that album is a banger, just absolutely slaps. And then they didn't really do much after that, and so I can only imagine that when they do a concert, they're just playing all of Rubberneck, probably. Which, I mean, a lot of bands would be. Um, there's very few bands that can put out a perfect record like that. A lot of bands put out multiple records, but then each one probably only has like 3 or 4 decent songs on it. But to put out an album where every track fucking bangs, that's very rare. Um, yes, Doja Cat does have a big fat ass. She has great tits too. Um, yeah, she has a big fat ass. I haven't heard a second of Ice Spice's music. I just keep seeing her with her ass. She's always showing her ass and her tongue is out. And I'm like, put your fucking tongue back in your mouth, you nasty bitch. The fuck are you doing? Um, yeah, Carly Rae Jepsen's good. Um, who else? Who else is out there now? Who are the modern pop stars? Pop stars, current. Ariana Grande, never heard any of her music. Miley Cyrus, she's great. I like her. I like Miley Cyrus. Billie Eilish, she's good. Justin Bieber has been. Selena Gomez, never heard her music. Seen her as an actress though. Taylor Swift, obviously. Katy Perry has been. Dua Lipa stole a song from NXS. Adele, she's good. Kind of a has been. Beyonce, incredible. Camila Cabello, have no idea who that is. Rihanna, great. Ed Sheeran sucks. Demi Lovato, crazy bitch. Shawn Mendes, don't know who that is. Halsey, I'm aware of her. Never heard her music. Bruno Mars, decent. Harry Styles, great. The Weeknd, great. Britney Spears, the GOAT. Alicia Keys, great. Drake, never really listened to much of his music. And then Justin Timberlake has been. Had to get NSYNC back together to maintain relevance. So that's who comes up if you Google pop stars current. No hide nor hair of Doja Cat. Sam hide nor hair. Interesting. They're trying to keep her down. I guess out of everybody on who I just listed, top two would be Lady Gaga. Top three would be Lady Gaga, Miley Cyrus, and Beyonce. Adele really does have the voice for a fat bitch. And to have that voice on a thin woman's body, it just doesn't work. You're right about that. She has fat bitch voice. And now that she's lost the weight, she just doesn't have. She lost that X factor that made everyone fall in love with her. It's unfortunate. Dude, I have no idea why that really got me. That actually tickled me, man. Dude, I'm getting Adele. um, and I'm that. I don't know if you're the first person that's made that joke, but fuck, dude, it got me. Would you say Beyonce is the worst? That "Girls Run the World" song is the worst piece of music I've ever heard. I don't even know that song. I don't know like all of her songs, but what's that one song where she sings like African gibberish and then she switches to English and then back to African gibberish? She's like, "Ooh, everybody, big man, big man." Ooga booga, click clack, click booga booga, booga booga booga. Do you know the Do you know the song I'm talking about? What is it? Hold on. Black Parade is the name of the song, and listen to these lyrics. I'm going back to the South. I'm going back, where my roots ain't watered down. Growing like a baobab tree of life on fertile ground. Ancestors put me on game, Ankh charm on gold chains with my ocean energy. Oh, drip all on me, woo and Kara Dashiki print. Hold up, don't I smell like Satya, Nag Champa incense? Yeah, pure ice, bust down, flooded on my wrist, ow. Ooh, going up, motherland, drip on me. Ooh, melanin, my drip is skin deep, like, ooh, motherland, drip on me. Hey, I can't forget my history is her story. Okay. There we go. Hear that, folks? Yeah, being black, maybe that's the reason why they always mad. Yeah, they always mad. Yeah, been past them. I know that's the reason why they all big mad, and they always have been. Uh, so it's okay. So she doesn't sing in African gibberish in the song. I just couldn't understand the lyrics. None of this is African gibberish. So yeah, I just couldn't understand the fucking lyrics when I heard it. Uh, yeah, but don't we're not gonna speak ill of Beyonce here. We're not gonna kick the beehive. It's cool that she was in Gold Member. Black Parades about the unemployment line. Damn, dude, you're hitting dingers, Mike. Just fucking knocking them out of the park. That's good. Um, calling the unemployment line the Black Parade. Yeah, just Babe Ruth fucking pointing for the fence out at the fences with that one. Anyway, you guys want to get in some news stories before we get out of here? I was reading something interesting. Not really. Everything's Gaza now. It's all Gaza these days. Lady Gaza. Lady Gaza. Ooh, I'm in a history. Blah, 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 blah. Let's go to the science page on Google News. Let's see what's in the science section. Oh, full moon. When to see November's full beaver moon? Okay, I'm listening. What does that mean? A full beaver moon? Did the moon grow its bush out? What are you talking about? Um, hmm. Let's see. Yep. Now this is my shit right here. This is my shit. Cosmic ray hits Utah, and it comes from beyond our galaxy. Now we're talking. This is my shit. Like Fantastic Four, you know, the Fantastic Four cosmic radiation coming to Earth. According to a recent report from CNN, a mysterious cosmic ray has appeared in the state of Utah with origins that can be traced beyond our known galaxy. The ultra high energy particle observed by astronomers is completely invisible to the naked human eye, but comes chock full of transferable energy. Though scientists have not currently triangulated the origin of this ray, researchers seem convinced that it contains properties from the distant reaches of outer space. Low energy cosmic rays are commonly found all over Earth and often emanate from the sun in the center of our solar system, while some high energy rays can be observed on Earth on occasion. None seem to share properties with the one recently discovered in Utah. The rays are measured as charged particles that travel through space, often having no significant impact on the human body, though the high energy particles found within the Utah ray are strong enough to mimic the feeling of a brick falling on your toe from waist height, according to how do you fucking determine that? I don't even like what does that even mean? I don't understand how they came up with that metric. Um anyway, who is Cosmic Ray? He's an old Def Jam comedian. Yeah, my name is Cosmic Ray. How y'all doing tonight? Who fucking in here? How many y'all fucking? The newly discovered cosmic ray, which scientists have nicknamed the Amaterasu particle, a nod to the Japanese sun goddess, was located by the telescope array in Utah's West Desert. The telescope array is a cosmic ray observatory that has been operating for nearly 20 years and has been responsible for spotting and researching more than 30 ultra high energy rays in the time since. Researchers at the observatory utilized complex detectors that line more than 270 square miles of land in the West Desert and detect particle density through the triggering of electron volts. Yeah, I didn't understand most of that. I don't know what they're talking about here. Tiramisu cheesecake. Is that a thing? Is there? Well, okay. Hold on. Let's talk now. Is tiramisu cheesecake a thing? Is there such a thing as a combo tiramisu cheesecake? Let me look that up. Fuck the cosmic rays. Is this a real thing? Oh, is it? Is it? It's at the Cheesecake Factory. Okay, this is a. I didn't know this was a thing. Okay, I'm more interested in that. I'm more interested in the concept of tiramisu cheesecake than I am whatever this fucking science bullshit is, because that sounds delicious. Because I love both of those things. I love tiramisu and I love cheesecake. And I love the Cheesecake Factory. Too much on the menu though. The menu's too big at Cheesecake Factory, but the cheesecakes are good. You never had an Oreo cheesecake? That's pretty common. I've had that plenty of times. I mean, the best cheese, like honestly, when it comes to cheesecake or like, I mean, let's get serious here for a second. The best cheesecake is just a classic, like New York style cheesecake. Just a plain slice of New York cheesecake. Like if that's good, then it's really good. Like if you go to like Venero's on 11th Street in New York, it's like you ain't beating that. And then like other than that, there's the like Italian style cheesecake, it's made with I think it's made like ricotta maybe. It's less sweet than New York style cheesecake, and it's fluffier. It's like an airier slice of cheesecake, but the Italian cheesecake is really good as well. But for my money, nothing beats just a plain slice of cheesecake. You don't have to doll it up with all this other shit because it's already like perfect. Um, you want your wedding reception at the cheesecake? I mean, that would be nice. That would be a good wedding reception, especially considering the sheer amount of fucking mixed drinks they have at Cheesecake Factory. People would love it. Get a fucking chicken Diane and a mojito. Um, but my philosophy on sweets has changed as I've gotten older. When I was a boy, I did want the most extreme, like science project when it came to sweets and desserts, like going to Dairy Queen and getting a fucking blizzard with like Oreo and Heath and Butterfinger and fucking cheesecake bites in it, or in all this other shit. Um, and as I've gotten older and my palate is more refined and discerning, I found that less is more, as they say. The simpler, the better. So when it comes to cheesecake, plain slice. When it comes to ice cream, stick to the holy trinity: vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, maybe pistachio every now and then if you're feeling nasty. Um, in that way you can really appreciate the complexities of those like very distinct flavors. Whereas, like, if you go to some ice cream place, like Cold Stone Creamery, and it's like, all right, let me get this fucking butter pecan ice cream, and then put all this goofy shit in it, put all these Oreos and sprinkles and gummy bears and all this shit in it. You got too much. Everything's clashing with each other, and it's just a complete blitzkrieg on your taste buds. Whereas just a scoop of vanilla, scoop of good Mexican vanilla. I'm on that Mexican vanilla tip. A lot of people go French, Mexican vanilla. That's to be really savored and explored. That's a good scoop right there. Good Mexican vanilla. Um, but yeah, keep it simple, dude. As I get older, it's like back to basics. Strip it, strip down. Sort of like like with music. Don't bore us. Take us to the chorus, but with ice cream. You know what I mean? Mexican vanilla spicy? No, no, it's just another vanilla. It's just like a different vanilla plant. It comes out of Mexico, and I think it's like prepared differently. Favorite pizza toppings? All right, let's get real here. Now we're talking. Same as like with sweets. Less is more. The best pizzas are cheese and margarita. So if we're going toppings, margarita all day. Which is just uh, what's on margaritas is like tomato and basil. Very very simple. But if I go to a pizzeria, it's the cheese slice is usually like the benchmark. It's like if like this should be good, and it's the perfect combination of flavors. You know what I mean? It's like the dough, and then like the sweet kind of tartness of the sauce, and then the savoriness of the cheese. It all blends together really well. And then like if I'm gonna get toppings, like I said, margarita. Uh, and then I try not, and if I'm feeling it, I'll go pepperoni. But here's the thing, now as I grow older, pepperoni even uh kind of overpowers the pizza. And so like you bite into it and the pepperoni just kind of takes over all the flavors of the pizza. And now the pizza is serving really as a delivery system for the pepperonis. They're not working together in unison. You're just eating like pepperoni pizza flavored pepperonis. You know what I mean? But I'll get that from every now and then. But yeah, when it comes to toppings, fucking cheese, dude, cheese and margarita, and the argument about pineapple, I like it. I do like it on pizza. Actually, like I think like those combinations of like sweet and savory are really good. And so I've never hated pineapple on pizza. Uh, like the Hawaiian slice is good. I like a Hawaiian slice for sure. Is it my favorite? No, but I do like it. Um, I wish more people understood that. Whenever that dumbass conversation comes up about like pineapple doesn't belong on pizza, and it's like, well, nothing belongs on anything. Nothing's real. But when it comes to pineapple on pizza, it's like, well, that makes sense. Like that combination of sweet and savory is always good. Sea salt caramel. That's another one. A little salt on the chocolate. That's a good combo. Oh fuck me, that does sound good. Goat cheese and raspberry. That sounds fucking good. Just by itself, I would just those two things together. Uh, as pizza toppings, sure. Oh, I'm fat. I'm fatter than Lev Fur. I'm pretty sure I'm fatter than he is at this point. Um, I mean, he looks pretty big, but I'm so fucking fat now. This is fun. This is an interesting experiment doing these streams. I never know how they're gonna go. But this is fun. I don't, it's getting better as they go along. Um, yeah, you're right, Scazo. Yeah, if you're doing the pizza conversation, just to have a little fun with the boys. Yeah, it's fun to have that yeah, it's mundane, but it can be fun. But like when people take it seriously, when they like take that whole pineapple on pizza thing seriously, it's like really, who gives a fuck? And it's also it tastes good. It's the combination of those flavors is good. Um, but yeah, I don't. I don't have hard opinions about how food should be across the board. I know like what my tastes are. I know what I like, but whatever anyone wants to eat, that's their prerogative. Like whatever who am I to judge or condemn someone for their preference in food? Um, I will say, I will say that like I've never eaten at like really really fancy restaurants, but I've seen like videos of what is served at Michelin star restaurants, and it looks so unappealing. Like every video I see of like those like tasting courses at like a Michelin star restaurant, it looks gross. Like it looks like what's being served is like it looks like future food, like movies about like when the future sucks, and they have like some sort of like protein paste that everybody has to eat. That's what like Michelin star restaurant food always looks like to me. Like that like deconstructed shit that they do. Like this looks fucking terrible. Um, and so I'd rather just go to like a Texas Roadhouse. Uh, but you don't like asparagus? I like asparagus. I like the way it makes my pee pee smell. Um, Ketchup on mac and cheese. What the fuck are you talking about? That's disgusting. That is gross. That sounds really gross. More power to you if you want to do that. But that sounds fucking gross. I'll do um I'll do ranch on pizza. That's probably as gross as I get with condiments. Um, I know, like, I don't know if that's like a common thing, dipping your pizza in ranch dressing, but that was like a thing in Texas, and I'll still do that. I'll fucking cook up a Totino's party pizza and dunk it in some Hidden Valley, uh, which I know intuitively is gross, but I enjoy it from time to time. Um, Intuitively, I don't know if I use that word right. Data. Engage. Damn, I gotta finish watching Next Generation. And then Deep Space Nine. Deep Space 9 inches. Hola, Senora, ¿qué tal? What does that mean? Hello, ma'am, and you? How are you? I don't know. I took like fucking 4 semesters of Spanish in college. I fucking don't even know how to speak it. Um, Grew up in Texas. Don't even know how to speak Spanish. Well, this is fun. I do have to work in the morning. Does anybody want to get out of here on anything? You guys want to? Uh, that probably covers it. All right. Well, everybody, subscribe to the Patreon if you want to hear me. The episodes come out Tuesday. Am I back in Texas? I'm in parts unknown. Not necessarily Texas, but I might work my way back there. I don't know. I don't know what my plans are. I gotta have money first. Do I have any fitness goals? Yeah, fitting these nuts in your mouth. Booyah. Boom. Click, click, boom. No, I need to lose 100 pounds. But subscribe to the Patreon. Free episode drops Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Patreon drops at the same time. And subscribe to Patreon if you want to hear me go into an in-depth discussion on how to obtain a gold chocobo in Final Fantasy VII. Thank you, Ronan. I do rule, but we all rule. So I love you all. All right, good night. Bye. This has been the live stream on the Billionaire Podcast Network. Ka-ching, bing, 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 dee, dee, fill her up.